Good morning everybody, welcome to Stockradar Stocks on the Move for another week. Today's date is the 29th of January 2026. My name is Richard Lee and I manage the stockradar.com.au website for you. Well, talking about doing the right thing today, we all know what we should do, but sometimes we can't just do the right thing. So I have a couple of little tips on why we should do that and how we can do that. So Stockradar, what's all about? It's about trends, and trends are what's happening at the moment. So surprise, surprise, we're in there and we're talking about trends at the moment, and this is our time to really make some money in the market because they are really booming at the moment. So we'll have a look at a couple of stocks, look at how I've done it, why I've done it today, and we'll take it on from there. But firstly, commodity breakouts, fire up trends, and BHP is probably a bit of a laggard in all this, but it's catching up and it's trading up to new highs. We'll have a look at that one a bit later on because it's looking quite interesting. Okay, firstly, let's go to our trend intensity ratings. Okay, this time top 10 trend intensity ratings. We have Whitehaven at the top there, Stanmore, two coal stocks. Coal's not going away apparently. IGO gold, EVN gold, EMR gold, mineral resources gold, lithium, whatever, going like a rocket. Paladin is taking off. Watch that one, it's a dangerous one. Pilbara's doing pretty well. Ramelius and S32. So a couple of those laggards, S32, BHP is now to come on board. Rio's looking pretty good. So coupled with all those other ones, the Capricorns, the Emeralds, the Pilbaras, the Liontowns, we've got a few other opportunities at the moment. So interesting at the moment. That's the top 10. I think I have to have about 20 stocks with top 10 ratings at the moment. So that's just a sample of what we've got at the moment. So if you want to have a look at these, the rest of these, go to the website, have a look at the trading centre, and you'll see them all listed there for you. Okay, stock pick update. Stock pick count is flat at 50 stocks of 160 stocks, so we've got less than a third still of stock picks. So that means there's a lot of stocks that aren't trending, but we have one in this week and one out this week. So rotation goes on. Okay, so that's the stock pick update today. Portfolios are all full and doing well. Stocks like Whitehaven have got in there recently, mineral resources, all those stocks that have been doing well, pushing our returns really well at the moment, which has been fantastic. So that's good. All the portfolios, we'll probably have a review of those maybe next week and see where they're all at the moment. Suffice to say, they are all doing very, very well at the moment. And of course, why wouldn't they? Be lots of trends available, and we follow trends, and that's what we do. Okay, now I want to get straight to the overseas markets, which really, again, not a lot of change, but we'll have a look at them. The indices can keep going higher. As you can see here, keep making new highs. We haven't really made new highs for a couple of weeks. We were hovering up there. We can see some selling evident there. Momentum still positive there. Nothing to worry about at this stage, apart from the volume, really. Okay, same thing actually on the other indices as well. We've also got the S&P, which is it's actually making new highs. We've seen a couple of bars there. That means they were down weeks, those red bars. So although it looks pretty good there, there's a couple of bit of selling there, just warning us a little bit, but still everything else looks okay. Momentum's flattened off a little bit. It's still above the average. So, as a trend intensity rater, you're probably looking at a 6, 7, maybe an 8 on there at this stage. Now, probably a 7 or an 8, I think, at the moment. Nasdaq at this stage also looking pretty good. It's bounced back pretty well, believe it or not. We've had a few selling bars through here, but not to be perturbed. It is moving onward and upward, Nasdaq. So we just follow that while it remains above the average there. So they're all okay, the indices at the moment, to support the background of what we do. Okay, our market itself, we're looking to have it traded towards those highs. It's almost there. Is it going to get through? Well, we don't know. We've had a good support at S1, which has been good, which is around the old high back here, and it's bounced well. Momentum's flattened off a little bit, but really the key is this R1 level here, up around 9,000. We want to see it through to see we hopefully get another run out of it. Okay, so that's the ASX 200. Remember, that's your top 20 stocks, and that's about it. Okay, gold. Well, it's flying. Continues to fly. You worry about these sorts of things when they go exponential, but that's what it's doing. Great volume. Seller strike here, which is not really true so much now. We've got more buyers dominating more than anything, so that's probably a little bit old, that comment there. This stays very positive momentum. It just goes up and up and up, strong, 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 and this goes up and up and up in price. So if you're in there, well and good. Lucky if you've been following some trends, you'll be on Newmont, you'll be on Evolution, you'll be on a lot of those good stocks, Perseus, that are all running quite nicely on a trend basis. Okay, so that's gold and looks fine there, no problem there. Copper's also turning the corner. We know it's been looking better recently. We're now starting to move away from this big old high there. We had a bit of a bump up here and a tragic fall through here, but now this time it's got a good steady trend up through here, and it's moving away from those hold the highs there, and then now making new highs above there. So all positive there. We don't doubt what we don't see. So we see new highs in price. It's above the average. Volume is improving, as is momentum. So they're the key indicators that I use to tell me this market wants to go higher. Okay. All right, so copper's looking pretty good, as is gold. Brent crude, again, finally we're getting something there. I don't really know. But if we look at this, we can see the big downtrend here, but let's have a focus on what's happening here at the moment. We've got a double bottom here, down here around about $61. It's bounced off there on good volume, so that's a good sign there. Okay, we've got it through the average, which is another good pointer. We've still got some horizontal resistance in the downtrend line to get through yet. So this is sort of the area that I look for a switch zone, which gives me 3 good bits of evidence that the market wants to go higher. At this moment, we've got a bit of volume here. We've got a double bottom. We've also got a break of the average, so it's starting to look a bit better. But I'd really like to see it up above R1, which is about $71 if Brent crude's going to kick higher and finally have a bit of a reversal to this downtrend, and maybe look to go back up towards R2, which is up around $95. So that's Brent crude, looking positive. Finally, we might have something there, so we'll just keep an eye on that one. I noticed some of the oil stocks have been responding a little bit, which is a good thing. Okay, so that's the indices and commodities. Commodities still looking really good. Iron ore's been looking okay. Lithium's been looking fantastic. Copper's good. Gold's good. Silver's knocking the lights out. So we've got plenty of good support there for our mining stocks. So let's have a look at a few of them and see what they think at the moment. We looked at a couple last week, but I'm going to review a couple this week. Firstly, mineral resources, which we know. I mean, I show these stocks so you get an idea of how markets work and what happens. So if I just blow this one up a little bit here, we can see mineral resources. We can see the full picture here. We can see the $90 up here. We can see the $15, $16 down here. So that was a big correction there, one we don't like to play in. So we've got out of that one. We've been waiting for this to happen for quite some time. Finally, it happened. We've got the trend down here, clearly the trend up here. Something's happened in here where it's got through the average, it's got through the horizontal resistance point and the downtrend line there. And that's telling me there's likely to be a reversal of trend, and it has done. The trend has reversed here and it's continued higher in no uncertain terms at all. So, and it's looking to, 90 is the next resistance, so I don't really know where it's going to go. You can have some resistance up here, 78, but that's the major resistance we'd be looking for mineral resources. Again, you can see this pattern here. The volume has been enormous. Momentum has been fantastic. All those sort of things. Now, this has tailed off quite considerably. Again, trying to get hold of stock has been hard. You can see the relentless pursuit of the buyers, and this just keep pushing this stock up, Sellers might give them a little bit, and then they will back off and not give them a bit more. So it's a bit of a game, this sort of trending behaviour, where demand still seems to be outweighing supply in this trend here, and you just can't get a whole lot of stock. That's why the volume's so low there. So mineral resources looks very good, and its trend intensity rating is 10, which is very nice indeed. Why would you doubt this trend? There is no reason to doubt it whatsoever. Okay, BHP we did look at last week, but again we've had another good run this week. We've had a great little jump up towards, we finished at 50.60 yesterday, which was fantastic. And this is the big area we've been looking at for a while for it to get through. You can see this big range it's been in for a few years. It's now testing the upside here. If I get rid of this big spike here, we can look at the volume. So the volume has been nicely solid through here, plenty of green bars through here. It's above the average. Momentum's built. So we've already entered this stock, but we're now looking, we hold BHP. We entered this back here a while ago, but now we're looking for hopefully to surmount this area here and get through here, which really does excite us quite a bit. If BHP finally gets through $50, it will be a very, very positive sign there with all the indicators turning red. And it's trend intensity rating of +10. So BHP is looking very interesting. It just needs to finalise a jump through this one here. And we're getting very excited about BHP. So I just thought I'd show you that again, because we really have moved on well into that area this week. And you look at things like Rio, also looking to test those highs. They're all looking pretty interesting at the moment. And so it's not just the smaller ones now, the bigger ones are coming on board. We looked at S32 last week, Newmont's back, and some of those gold stocks are back. But BHP and Rio are looking very good. Okay, so now we go to the coal stocks, which of course coal is not going to exist soon, but everyone keeps buying it, so coal prices are going up. It's not going away, I don't think, for the moment. So Whitehaven Coal, trend intensity rating of 10. You can see a full picture there back to 2022. We saw the downtrend here. We had a great run there. Then it's a big correction. So from about $11 down to nearly $4.50, so a huge correction. But now we're back on again. Corrections all look different, don't they? So this one looks a bit different again. So I've got a break here of the downtrend line. We've got a break above the average. There wasn't enough volume there to get us going on momentum. So we've revised our trend reversal level up to the next resistance level. Okay, so we've got a high point here, a new higher low here, and then we break through here, and that's our signal there above about $7. The price is now $9.19 in a couple of weeks, and it's looking pretty good. So this is positive. There's plenty of green bars here. Let me just slide this out a little bit. Plenty of green bars here. It looks pretty good. The trend is up nicely. It's starting to edge through R1. R2's got to be the next target at $11, which again looks pretty good. Trend intensity rating is 10. Everything is looking perfect for this, and of course there's no such thing as perfection in this game or guarantees, so we've got to be careful. And we just raise our stop. Now we're in profit in this one. We can raise our stop comfortably and have a little bit of allowance to let this market breathe and move higher, which it probably will do. So Whitehaven Coal is looking good, and I think Stanmore was an entry a few weeks ago, which we had. Now we've got another one here. This is one that hasn't broken up yet, so this is one for you to have a good look at. Let me just blow this up here. This is the downtrend for Viva Energy. Okay, had a big run before, but it's now come back since started April 24. It's had a big run down through April 25. So it's a 12-month run down. It's now, what's it doing now? Well, it's now trying to reverse. It's now got a low here at S1. We've got a high point here where the rally took us to at about 230. Then pulls back to high low. Okay, a good sign, trend reversal sign. We're now rallying towards this point here, and we need to get through this point here. Okay, it's just pulling back at the moment. It's a bit of a drift, but everything looks okay. Now, if we go back to here, we've got a break of the downtrend line. We have a break of the moving average line. Okay, horizontal resistance line hasn't gone yet. That's our final nail in the coffin, because we also have, of course, some good volume through here. Okay, so especially on these upward slants here, these upward moves here, we've got some very nice volume pushing this price here. So that's a really good sign. So all that work it's doing underneath there is what we're watching and observing and watching for this trend change. It's still a trend intensity rating of -3, so it hasn't got there yet, but it looks very encouraging to me. Momentum's come back to neutral. The momentum signs are good, and this trend reversal pattern is sitting there waiting to be completed. So keep an eye on that one, and that's probably one for the books, and hopefully that will be another energy stock that may well jump into the stock picks along with Whitehaven, Stanmore, and I think there might be one or two others in there as well. Go to the trading centre to have a check those out. Okay, so that's Viva Energy. That's the one for you to have a look at today. The two stocks I want to go through here are just not really a big deal, but people are interested in these stocks, and I get kicking inquiries about them. So I'm going to have a look at this one. This one here is Cochlear. So if we look at the long-term picture here, you can see the resistance there. It's come back to that support. So from getting to $340 or $347, it's come back to this support, which is around about $250. Okay, so we've got the big downtrend here, and that's looking pretty bad. Then all of a sudden we get a rally up to here, so which is pretty good, but the hold highs are going to give it trouble, as it has done. So we get a big lower high here and sends the price straight back down to that support. So we're in that area of resistance and support. And now what we're getting at the moment, we've got support at what I call a double bottom there of support, which is a good sign. I've also got some very nice volume appeared, a little bit starting to appear in this little rally at the moment, which is okay. That last rally looked pretty good. So constructively, the sellers did hit the market, but they haven't made a new low, so that's a good sign. So the downtrend status is wavering, because we need a new low to confirm that. So that hasn't happened. So now we're getting a move up and a test of the average and a test of the downtrend line and the little horizontal resistance line there. So that's trend change potential there. We've actually come off pretty quickly this week, so it may not do it. It still may make a new low. If it does make a new low, we start the process all over again. But for the moment, we have a process of showing support, a little bit of volume, a little bit of a turnaround possibly. It's got to get through this area really to make us a bit more sure. But for the moment, we keep an eye on it. So Cochlear, having come down from 340 to 250, it's had a fairly large correction. correction. It's back to a major support level, and it's showing signs of support, which is a good thing. Okay, so that's Cochlear. There is hope there finally for people that love Cochlear, because I know there's many of you out there that love the stock, and also there's many of you out here that love CSL, although they don't pay much yield, so it always gives me a little bit of a shudder when I hold stocks like this that are doing this sort of thing for years and not giving me any income, which is not a really good thing. So I didn't want to hold this stock, and we haven't held this stock for a long time until it fell through here and fell through here and fell through here and just went down and down and down. So from $320 to $180. CSL has gone down the Gurga. So we've got these lower highs here, not a lot of help here, plenty of selling here. What have we got at the moment? Well, we've got a little bit of support showing here, maybe sign off, but no real upside potential at this stage. So the selling is still dominant. There may be a flicker of life here. This may be starting to flatten off slightly, but really in the scheme of things, there's no evidence that this stock wants to go up. So that's what I'm looking for. You never buy a falling stock. I need evidence of a turn, of a trend reversal turn before I'm even going to look at the stock. So I'm conservative in what I do. But for the moment, this one looks about 10 times worth in Cochlear, which is showing good signs of support and has done for a few months now. So CSL really stays in the no-no basket. Value buyers might be out there looking at this stock, but that's not what I do. I look for trends, so I need to wait for a trend to develop and confirm itself before I'm interested in CSL. So for the moment, that stays out of my stock picks and has done for quite some time, and obviously for the reason why there it's going down. Okay, so that's CSL and Cochlear for you. A little bit of interest in Cochlear. CSL, really I can't get too excited about it. The next stock I want to have a look at is AGL, which is our old little one we've been looking at for quite a bit of time. And if we just blow this up here a little bit, we can see we've got the rally off the lows here, which we saw. It's hit the rally, it's now come back here, and what we were looking for here was a lower high to suggest we might have a trend reversal opportunity here. So we've got a bit of volume here. It's always hard with a bit of Christmas period, but it's difficult. Nothing to get too excited about. And momentum is certainly coming back towards zero level, which is a good level, and we're just above or hovering on the average or downtrend line and this horizontal point. So this is quite an important point around $9.50 there. Potentially, if we get through there, we're going to get a trend reversal. We're still rating a -8, so we're still weak at this stage. So there's not a lot of volume. This is still below zero. So the things are all negative, but above here, things can change quite quickly as we move through there. So we're going to watch that level, 950. We may be getting this trend reversal developing. We did like all this pattern that's happening here. The Christmas period has made things a little bit tricky for us to read some of these volume figures, but we just hang on to this and just watch this and see how it's developed. We're not doing anything at the moment. We're just watching and waiting. Okay, so that's AGL. And the final stock I've got for you today is, I don't know, and you probably are well aware, that the mining support services stocks, Downer EDI, McMahon, NRW, Monadelphous, have all been knocking the lights out as the mining sector booms along, and they need all that support they can do. And another little stock called GNG Engineering has also started to move off quite well. Now, it's also a mining support and services stock. You can see back here we had a big resistance level through here through 22, 23, 24, and it broke higher there and has had a very, very powerful run through here. Now, I'm assuming people will be neutral here. I think if I was in this stock, I probably would have been stopped out of this last move from here to here, and that's fine. So one way or another, I'm assuming we're all neutral at the moment. So what I'm waiting for now is a new high on this one, because everything's positive here. Trend intensity rating is +2. Okay, volume is okay, strong green bars on the upside. Momentum is flat, but it's still positive. So it's still giving us a positive reading. This will be positive, and we're above the average. So a new high is going to get a qualifying trend intensity rating for GNG Engineering. So this is one of the little stocks that's outside my remit, but I just like to cover a few of these stocks for you, these small stocks, because it gives you a bit of interest and a little bit of a play thing. So GNG Engineering, I think, it's in that space where there's plenty of demand. Plenty of people are happy to buy these stocks, and this one perhaps hasn't run quite as far as some of those other stocks, and maybe that's why it's getting a bit of interest at the moment. So in its own right, it's done pretty well. I think it yields quite well, so it's an interesting stock. So a new high above about 440 for GNG Engineering should just about do it. And as always, when you enter these positions, make sure you work with your stop that reflects your risk profile or your risk parameters, okay? Remember, we limit things on the downside and we have unlimited upside, which is exactly what we do here. We know exactly how much we're risking here, and the potential is for this market to move considerably higher. Okay, so this is what we do. This is how we do it. G&G Engineering is looking like an interesting stock at the moment. Okay, so there's a few stocks for you today. Plenty out there at the moment. There's plenty of stuff for you to look at on the trading centre. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of stocks still looking to come in. As I said before, there's still 110 stocks that aren't trending and 50 that are out of the 160 stocks. So plenty of potential. And the newsletter this week, at the end of this week, I'm going to review a few stocks that haven't been looking so good and maybe worth running the ruler over them for an opportunities for this year, I would think. Plenty of stocks have gone off, but there's always rotation, stocks coming in, stocks coming out, and always stocks for us, opportunities for us. So you miss one trend, don't worry too much. There's always other trends we can jump on. Okay, so that's the stocks for you today. I just want to go through a couple of slides. Again, talked about doing the right thing before, and again, probably the comment I'd probably make is that I speak to a lot of members on the line. They might be having a little bit of trouble trading, and they'll excuse me, say to me, "I know what I do, but I can't actually do it." So you get these signals or you get these stops go off, but you can't actually implement them. So it really is about making that leap of faith and saying, well, rather than listen to what my little birdie's saying in my ears here, I'm actually going to do what I'm supposed to do the right thing. Okay, so doing the right thing. So catching trend is important, and that's the fun part, and that's what we do. And at the moment, this is our time. Okay, so too is knowing when to cut out profit or loss, and that's the reality. That's really the hard part, the selling part. So you've got to know. So you might be doing things exactly. The market might be booming off, and you're getting a sell signal on your stock, and you're just going to say, well, you shouldn't say, well, maybe I'll do this. You should just say, do what you need to do. In my game, I don't get tops and bottoms, so I never even have to worry about that. I'm always just looking to make a return on my investment, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, you just got to have those expectations in the right place. So knowing when to cut out, whether you're locking in a big profit or cutting out a loss, is very, very important to do to make sure you're managing everything right. You make sure you're managing your expectations. What are your expectations? Are they too dreamy, too hopeful? Well, if they are, you need to check them back a little bit, cut them back a little bit, and make sure they're realistic. Okay, it's not hard to do to make a good return on your money. You just need to be sensible and smart about it. Okay, so you need to manage your expectations. You need to manage your money properly, like I do, keeping those losses to a minimum and running those profits. Okay, that's the whole game of the game. There is a choice. There's a choice whether you take a big loss or a small loss. That's your choice. If you decide to take a big loss, that's up to you. I don't. I take small losses, and I rather move on. So it's a choice how you do that. So you've got to manage your money, and in that case, it's a bit like processes and outcomes. You manage your money, manage your expectations, it will manage your returns properly, and they will unfold normally. So in times like this, you make a lot of money. A couple of years ago, you would have struggled a bit, but that's the nature of the market. The market trends higher most of the time, so most of the time, it's in our ballpark as to what we do to follow trends. Okay, and sometimes it's not, and when it is that situation, we're really trying to make sure we conserve that capital so we're ready for what we're having right at the moment. Okay, so managing the returns is the final part. So it really is doing the right thing. Is a very, very clinical process. Here's my little doctor here. She can't make the wrong decisions. She's got to make the right decisions all the time. So, it's a very clinical process. You do what you got to do. And top trading qualities that I probably would think of, two words, are patience. You don't have to be doing something all the time, just waiting for things to happen, and discipline to make sure you're doing those right things. Have the discipline to listen to what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so that's sort of just a little reminder for you. It's not hard to do things, and you know when you're doing the wrong thing, and you probably know when you're going to give yourself a bit of a kick in the backside if you're going to take a loss that you don't need to take, or you don't lock in enough profit that you should have taken. That sort of thing. Okay, so that's all I've really got for you today. What's happening at Stockradar? Nothing new at Stockradar this week. We're just plodding along, lifting our stops as trends extend, as they always do, and extend. This is our time. So if you want to have a look at what we've got on our site, take a free trial, get familiar with the Trading Centre page and how it works and how it can help you. Watch how we move our stops, cut our losses and run our profits, and lock in our profits, that sort of thing. So you can watch it all unfold in live time, because that's what I try and do. Trying to educate people on the simplicity of the stock market and how easy it can be to generate profits. Don't overcomplicate your life too much. That's a stress thing with these, and it's not what I like. So in the end, watch your trends, hedge your stops, keep it simple, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks very much.